I have been a Playboy for 4 years and learned some harsh truths that I wish I knew when I was younger. So I'm going to be breaking down my 5 most valuable lessons for you in this video. The first lesson is that being assertive is going to get you insane results. Obviously, the vibes need to be there for this to apply. You can't make bold, assertive moves on girls who don't like you or aren't interested. But let me give you some examples. The first one of how I failed massively when I was younger. So when I was 16, I had a girl come back to my house. We were sitting on my bed together and talking, and I was too scared to go in for the kiss at that moment. I can just see, looking back now, how much this killed the attraction. Being a girl sitting next to a guy, making it obvious as fuck that she wants to do something with me, and me not even being able to go in for a kiss and put myself out there in that way when she put herself out there to come to my house, sit on my bed and make it so obvious. It's so unattractive as a girl for a guy to not be able to make moves. I remember also, kind of just on a side note, when I was younger, I always used to like ask a girl if I could kiss her or do things like that throughout high school. And I can just see how that just kills the vibe. Nowadays, if their vibes are there, I'm chatting with a girl, we're smiling, looking into each other's eyes, I just go in for the kiss. It's not a big deal. Let me give you an example how being very assertive and savage led to me bringing this girl home. About a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point, I was at the club. I was in the outdoor seating area where everyone's sitting. In the Swedish summer, everyone loves to sit outside when there's good weather. I'm talking with a friend at this table. Across the ways, I see this beautiful 10 out of 10 girl, and we make eye contact and smile. So I immediately just leave this table, go up, talk to her, and we just vibed right off the bat. Within 10 minutes, I said, let's go back to my hotel. It's right down the road. And she was like, okay. And we left that quickly just because it was bold. It was assertive at every stage of the interaction. And it just works out that way. That is how things go. If the vibe is there, you need to be bold, you need to be assertive. You would be surprised what you can actually accomplish. Now, the second lesson is you need to be absolutely ruthless as a Playboy. There is no benefit in being a nice guy when you are trying to play the field a little bit. You need to be fiercely realistic as to where you stand on the metaphorical chessboard in the game that you are playing. If you are fantasizing about going on to date a girl, or even just having a girl who's going to be your consistent thing when that is not the situation and you're reading the signals wrong, you are going to end up hurting yourself more than this girl could ever hurt you. So the more realistic that you are, the better it is going to be. And now, I know maybe if you're a little bit of a lover boy, like even how I was when I was younger, fantasizing and things, you're going to need to it's going to take some time. You're going to have to learn some harsh lessons to see things clearly. And that's just going to come with time. But the sooner you can start adapting this sort of ruthless mindset, the better off it's going to be for you. So, for example, the second a girl does anything to be sort of disloyal or kind of diss you in any way, let's just use that word, like diss you, do anything sort of negative towards you, that is pretty much the time to cut things off. There is no benefit in sticking around, trying to make things work, whatever it is. You should pretty much just move on to another girl because there's no benefit in sticking around for that. Trust me, I have tried out of curiosity even. There's been times when I'm like, I know this is probably not going to go good, but let me just see what happens. And it never works. It never works. Once a girl shows you some sort of like ill intent, some sort of diss, something that's not fully bought into you, there's no point in continuing things because it's never going to work out. Even if you do manage to make things work out, it's not going to be in the right frame of mind and the right intention. Like maybe you end up just sleeping with her after the club because you're both drunk or something. Like, you know, you can maybe pull something off, but it's never going to be what you truly want. It's never going to be the best case scenario. You might as well just go and find another girl. So you need to be absolutely ruthless. You need to be able to stop talking to a girl because she, disses you or whatever the situation is. There's so many things that happen. There's so much BS you're going to deal with as a player in a Playboy that you're just going to need to be able to cut a girl off ruthlessly. And that's just part of the game. And this next one is so powerful, which is you need to believe you are the motherfucking man. You need to think that you are the best possible option that this girl could ever get. If you don't think highly of yourself, no one else is going to think highly of yourself. Your beliefs dictate your reality. You need to have high self-opinions of yourself. It is not narcissistic to think good things about yourself. Now, this doesn't mean be dumb, go out there and try and boast and showcase, because this is only going to make you seem insecure and take away from your confidence and your aura. But what this means is to have the belief in your heart that you can get any girl. Now, if things don't go good for you, that's just part of the game. If you try and make moves and it doesn't work out, who cares? But there's so many girls who find you attractive, and you need to believe that if the situations align where a girl is open for talking to someone and you're there and you talk to her, that you can get her. And I know that in my heart of hearts, that I can get any girl if she is open to chatting. And I truly believe that. So this is how you have to go into your interactions. You have to go in believing you're the motherfucking man, because this is going to change so much. And I'm going to go into the specifics of what it's going to change in the next 2 lessons, which is really, really impactful. But it all starts with you believing you're the man. And this doesn't have to do with being rich or famous. This has nothing to do with that. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm going to need to have money. I'm going to have fame. I'm going to have designer clothes. No. You just need to have the mindset and the belief that you are the man. And where this comes from is building yourself up, mostly internally. This can be with fitness, doing disciplined acts on a daily basis, building trust in your word, building true internal confidence. These sorts of things is what will make you develop that self-belief within yourself that you can do anything. And you got to apply this belief into dating and girls and anything that you do, honestly. And this is going to change who you are as an individual. And it's going to make you so much more attractive. The difference between you having a high self-opinion, high self-belief, and low self-belief is day and night. And I'm going to be breaking that down in these next 2 points on why it's going to have such a big impact. This takes us on to our next thing, which is that your true character is always going to leak out in your mindset or your communication. And people who are able to read other people really well, like myself, can pick up on these things very quick. I'll see through someone in a second, girl or guy. There's so many people I talk to on sales calls, and the reason why I'm able to identify every single issue with their dating life instantly, things that they couldn't even see or think of, is because I can read people. It's gonna leak out in your mindset, the way that you say things, the way that you think of yourself, the way that you communicate little small things will tell people everything they need to know about you. And girls are actually really smart. Like, a lot of people think that girls might be on the dumber side. No, they're actually really good at reading people, because all they do is talk to guys all of the time. They're able to see who's about it and who's not. And if you're just a lame, a girl is going to be able to tell that very, very quickly. There is no faking your character on a long enough time frame. You might be able to do it short term. If someone gave you all the lines, all the plays, you might be able to. But it's going to get revealed eventually. It's going to be very hard to fake your character. Even just things like your tonality, all these things make an impact on who you are as an individual. There is no faking your character, so you have to become the man. And once again, it goes back to that last lesson of believing you're the motherfucking man and working to get to that spot where you have that true internal confidence and self-belief. And that's going to change the game for you. And this last lesson is going to absolutely change your life, which is that your beliefs and your self-image will dictate your level of success. There's simply no way around it. So if you don't believe that you can get hot girls, you're simply not going to get them. You're either going to self-sabotage, you're not going to try in the first place. Something is going to go wrong, because that is the reality in which you live in. Your mind lives, you mostly live in your own mind. You don't live in the external world. You live in your mind, and your mind has all these beliefs. They're either going to be beliefs that allow you to succeed and do things that you want to do, or they're going to be chains and weights holding you back, like if you were trying to swim with a 45-pound plate chained to your waist, and they're going to make you sink real quick. That is the power of beliefs and self-image. These are the 2 most impactful things that you could ever work on and improve, because I am 5'7". Everyone loves to hear that I'm 5'7". They're like, oh, he's short and he gets girls. I'm like, yes, because I don't let it impact my self-image or my belief of myself. I believe that I can get any girl that I want. Now, I have been with a girl who is 5'11" or even 6 foot. She was tall as fuck, and she was shit testing me on this. And when she asked me, we'd been friends, we'd been seeing each other at the club a little bit, and finally, the day that we ended up getting together, she asked me, she was like, don't you care that I'm so much taller than you? And I was just like, no. And that's it. And I looked her dead in the eyes. I held the eye contact and just smiled. And I was like, no. And then she was like, okay. And I was like, let's get out of here. And then she was like, okay. And then we left. And it was that simple. And a lot of the time, the girls I get with are slightly taller than me. The girls in Scandinavia are quite tall. They're usually 5'8", 5'9". All of the time, I'm getting with girls that are taller than me. Of course, there's some that are shorter. But that is not an impact on who I am as an individual. I don't let my height impact my level of success, because some people are going to be insecure about it and they're going to let it impact their self-image. And then it's going to give you negative results in life. That is simply how it works. Your self-image is so powerful. Your beliefs dictate your success. So if you want to have tons of success, if you want to get with hot girls, you need to get your beliefs and your self-image in check. This is going to be one of the most impactful things that you do in your life, and it's going to absolutely change everything. And this doesn't just apply for girls, this applies for success or anything that you want to achieve. And once again, guys, I made the Playboy Secrets guide with all the things that I cannot share on YouTube because they get me banned. So if you want those, you can grab those for free. That's the first link in the description below.